Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another speed paint video. Today, I am going to draw some of my favorite shiny Pokemon. Emphasis on just some. I'll probably be doing more videos like this in the future, where I draw even more shiny Pokemon that I like and enjoy. So today, we're just going to look at a few of them, and I hope you guys enjoy these illustrations. Alright, our first Pokemon for today's video is going to be shiny Swinub. Swinub's really cute. I don't know. I don't see a ton of people raving about Swinub. Sometimes I see him drawn as like a scoop of ice cream, which is always really cute, but I don't know. I think Swinub's pretty great. One of those classic bean orb sort of shaped Pokemon. The same sort of camp as like Pyukumuku, Snom, or Krainkirchen. All those guys are all really great. Swinub gives me that same feeling as those guys, except he's a little more mammalian. And he's really cute with his little stripes. I love the shiny palette. I love that it's green. It's like this nice, beautiful minty green. I'll never forget the community day on Pokemon Go, where it was Swinub Community Day. I remember being at campus when I was still going to school and being in my dorm room and just sitting on the couch next to like a window where I could easily get a Pokestop, and I just caught so many of these dang little green pigs. It was pretty awesome. I think I may have caught as many as like 12 of them. It was a lot of fun. I asked Hazel what to name my strongest one to evolve up, and I told her that for context, Swinub evolves and becomes yellow. And she told me to name that Pokemon P. So I did. I did name it P. Unfortunately, he's still in my Pokemon Go game. He's still one of my strongest 6 Pokemon. If you ever see a shiny Mamoswine in like a New Jersey gym, it could be P. It could be P. And now every time I see a shiny Piloswine or Mamoswine in any game, in any context, I still think, oh, P. So that's weird. That's a weird thing I have with this Pokemon now. For this illustration, I really tried to capture the sort of like mint chocolate chip vibe I always think of when I see shiny Swinub, since the natural color is brown and the shiny is green. So I really tried to make it look like a luxury candy almost with this sort of illustration. This one's just very simple, very short. I just thought it would be a good warm-up to get into the rest of the ones we have today. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it came out pretty cute. Our next illustration actually features 2 Pokemon, 2 shiny Pokemon. It's Espeon and Umbreon. I'm sure it comes as no surprise that I am a Pokemon Coliseum fan, and that's why I love this duo so much. I just think they're so iconic. I could probably do an entire video essay one day about how much I love Pokemon Coliseum and how neat it is and what an interesting entry to the franchise it is. But I'll save that for another day. I'm mostly here to rave about how much I love these shinies. A lot of people say that they think Espeon's shiny, being bright, lime, alien green, is ugly. I highly disagree. I think it is iconic. It is probably my favorite evolution shiny. In middle school, I probably would have told you it was Umbreon, because, I mean, Umbreon's shiny is also, like, really good. But honestly, Espeon's bright color just totally wins my heart. It looks like a sweet little space alien. It's so much darker compared to its normal, more pastel lavender color, and I just think it looks really cool. I'm sure that, being a Coliseum fan, it is not surprising that I decided to go shiny hunting for an Eevee and evolve it into an Espeon or Umbreon. The one I caught in Pokemon Violet, I named Wes, and he evolved into an Espeon. And he's pretty great. I actually played the Indigo Disc with him on my team, so it was a lot of fun. Umbreon is really cool. Umbreon was very much my childhood favorite, whereas as an adult, I think I lean a little bit more towards Espeon. The sort of day and night quality between them is really interesting. I actually based some of the background elements in this drawing on the fact that they have that day-night duality. Like, is the background element the sun, the moon? It's a little ambiguous, which I thought would be kind of fun to play with for these two. And while these shinies are definitely, like, I don't know, I don't want to say overrated, right? They are extremely popular and mainstream shiny Pokemon, but I don't want to say overrated. I really do think that their popularity is well-deserved. Umbreon's switching of what primary colors are where, to Espeon's just unmistakable green color, and the fact that these two, even without being shiny, are just a really cool little duo, it makes sense that they're just so popular among the community. And I think they really deserve it. Like, I feel like some Pokemon could maybe use a little bit of toning down sometimes, but I don't know. These two are very iconic, and it's for a good reason. I had a lot of fun with this drawing. I think I spent quite a bit of time coloring the lines for it, especially on Espeon. I really put a lot of green line art in this one. I did not spend quite so much time on Umbreon. I don't know why Umbreon was a little bit easier for me to draw for the line art. Although its head did give me a lot of trouble. I think I just find trouble with Umbreon because it has the smoothest head out of any evolution, and it can be very easy for it to become a little bit too much like a human baby's head, which is not what I want, but it doesn't really have that much of a defined muzzle. None of the evolutions really do. They kind of have flat faces with only a slight muzzle, so that is basically the challenge I had to deal with when drawing Umbreon. But I think I came over it. I think it's fine. I think it came out pretty good. I ended up redrawing the whole ears at one point while doing the line art, just because I thought they made the head look a little too human-like at the angle I originally drew them. I just had a lot of fun with this. I did my classic sort of rendering style in here. I like to draw my shadows with a little bit of a warm, while preserving the transparency. I'll take a warmer color like a lighter purple or a pink even sometimes. I'll put that on the edge of the shadow to give it a little bit of extra oomph. Shadows in real life actually have an edge that is warmer in color usually because of the way light bounces around objects. So not only does it make it look more convincing, but it also just makes the image more visually interesting. Anyway, I had a ton of fun with this drawing. I tried to make it very fun and graphic and almost like a 90s era magazine ad. I don't know. I had fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoy taking a look at these funny colored cats. Last, but most certainly not least, we have Flygon. Flygon is definitely one of my favorite shinies ever. Flygon was actually one of the very earliest Pokemon I shiny hunted. I've actually been shiny hunting for a little over 10 years now. I wanted to get into it as early as Gen 4, but I just had no idea what I was doing. I was a grade schooler and I didn't really use the internet very much back then, so I was just kind of random encountering, hoping I would get lucky, which I didn't really do that until I was like a preteen. I wasn't really lucky with any shiny hunts. But when I was around, I probably would have been 15 when I was shiny hunting in Oros, and I decided I was going to do some dex nav chaining. And my first target was going to be Trapinch because I love Flygon. Flygon's been a favorite of mine ever since I was really, really little. I even used to bring a Flygon plush with me to school sometimes, so I really wanted to find this shiny blue Flygon. It felt like it was made for me. One of my favorite Pokemon with one of my favorite colors. I just thought it was a match made in heaven. But the thing about dex nabbing is you have to manually chase around the little Pokemon shadows or dust clouds or whatever that you're chasing depending on the environment. Unfortunately, the dust clouds in the desert area do not move on a grid and are more likely to run away from you and be kind of annoying than an encounter in the grass. So I had a bit of trouble doing this hunt, but it was worth it. I still found my beautiful shiny Trapinch fairly early. I think it was only about 367 encounters. which is not bad at all. And so, yeah, my very first shiny Trapinch, I named her Turquoise, and I actually used her for battling online, along with another Dexnav shiny of mine who was a Ralts I had found on Encounter 404, which I'll never forget. I remember I was going to try to take a picture of that encounter just so I can make a joke to my friends group chat like, haha, 404, shiny not found, except shiny was found. Shiny was found on 404 and I got a picture of encountering it, so that was pretty special. That Ralts being that deep into the encounter chains with Dexnaving, it had the hidden ability Telepathy, so I had my Gardevoir and Flygon online a lot, and they were a doubles duo. And my Gardevoir could avoid taking damage from any earthquake or other attacks, and it was pretty cool. I actually got a second shiny Trapinch rather recently. When the Indigo Disc came out, I was playing it with my girlfriend and our roommate, and I remember walking into the Blueberry Academy terrarium for the first time, and I was just kind of walking around trying to figure out which Pokemon were in the biome. And then suddenly, me and our roommate, we see something kind of bluish green on the ground, and lo and behold, it was a completely random shiny Trapinch right there on the ground. So I took that as a good sign and decided to catch it and add it to my team for the Indigo Disc, since I was planning on doing an all-shiny team for it anyway. And that shiny Trapinch became a Flygon I have nicknamed Marble. So, yeah, I've caught this shiny twice. It's so good. Flygon's just really cute, but also very cool looking. It strikes a very nice balance between those two things. I know a lot of people complain about it not being a bug type, but honestly, I don't really mind. I feel like if we were going to get an antlion Pokemon, it probably was going to be a ground type first and foremost because of their little sand pit gimmick, so I have no grief with it being a ground type. I think it's pretty neat. And plus, in my own Fakemon region project, the NJ region, I've actually created a bug-type Flygon. But the gimmick with that is it lives near the water, so I like to imagine that maybe the fans would be angry that it's not a water type in that case, instead of being angry that it's not a bug type. Because I thought it would be kind of fun to turn that on itself like that. Antlions and dragonflies are not necessarily very closely related, but they do serve very similar niches, so I thought it would be cool to make a regional variant of Flygon that actually was a dragonfly and not an antlion. For this illustration, it is actually the only one of this set I decided to do a full background for. I just wasn't feeling inspired for a background for the other two. And this one, obviously, I did a nice little desert scene. It had been a while since I think I've drawn a desert. Probably... oh, was it last year that I last did it? Maybe. I don't know. It was a while ago, though, that I last drew a desert scene. It might have even been for Pokésember in December, so... yeah, I guess it would have been about 6 months ago, at least. Maybe shorter. Maybe I'm just not remembering. But I had fun shading these big desert dunes. I was looking at photo reference on my phone while I was working on this, just to sort of get the shape of the dunes and the feel of them correct. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved putting the dust particles in at the end. I just had a lot of fun working on this. Flygon is just a really awesome Pokemon. It's got such lovely round shapes, while also definitely being badass. It's pretty cool. Legend ZA is coming out sometime next year, so just like a lot of other people, I am hoping to see a Mega Flygon in that game. I'm not getting my hopes up though, to be honest. Like, I don't really care either way. If it happens, I'll be happy. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see what design they ended up coming up with after working on it for what, 9-10 years of brainstorming this idea. But on the other hand, if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be outraged. I feel like a lot of fans do get really mad if something doesn't happen that they thought was going to, but honestly, I don't really care. If it doesn't happen, who cares? But if it does, I will be pleasantly surprised. So I'm very curious to see where that goes, and now that I think about it, I'm curious to know what the shiny would look like. A lot of Mega Pokemon do have very different shinies from their regular forms, so I'm curious if Flygon's shiny would be dramatically different, or if it would be somewhat similar. Anyway, I had a lot of fun drawing Flagon for this illustration. I just think it's such a cool Pokemon, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this drawing as much as I enjoyed making it. And with that, that is all the drawings I have for you guys today. I had a lot of fun working on these. I look forward to making more shiny Pokemon illustrations in the future. My goal is to not only make more of my own personal favorite shinies as drawings, but I also want to draw some of my friends' favorite shinies, my family's favorite shinies, my girlfriend's favorite shinies, and maybe once I get to a certain point with my viewer base, maybe I'll draw some of your favorite shinies. Maybe I'll do that as like a 100 sub special or something like that. I don't want to think too much about sub specials because I have no idea when I'll hit those or if I will hit those, so I'll be optimistic, but I'm also not planning my entire upload schedule around it. I'm likely going to be uploading videos weekly from this point on. I think I'm going to start uploading them weekly on Fridays, and you will know whether or not that's true based on whether or not you're watching this on a Friday. So yeah, expect Friday. I believe Friday mornings are going to be the times I will upload, so that way they're nice and ready for you guys to see by the time you get home from work or school or wherever you're at on a Friday. I might be able to produce more videos later this year, more consistently, if I have more support. It depends on what my work-life balance is going to be looking like. As of now, I don't know what that will look like later this year, and we'll have to see where that goes. But if I have a little bit more support, you can support me on my Ko-fi page, for example. I might be able to put out some more work more frequently, since I won't have to do my part-time job as much. We will have to see how that goes. So yeah, if you feel like supporting me, I would really appreciate it, but no pressure. I'm looking forward to doing more of these later. If you decide to follow or subscribe to me, maybe I'll do some viewer favorite shiny Pokemon in the future as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week with another speed paint, and go make some art.